everyone. Let us begin with a video prelude by Peter Mayer called All the World is One. Momentarily.
You can say that you stand apart, put a fence around your yard. You can build a tall rampart, guard it with a gun. You can dig yourself a moat, burn the bridge and burn the boat. It won't matter that much, you know, 'cause all the world is one. All the world is one. You can march in a big parade every Independence Day. You can raise up your own flag, sing your own anthem. It'll ring out in the air with the other anthems there. The winds of the earth declare all the world is one. All the world is one. Go and ask the Buddha when he's sitting under the tree. Go ask Walt Whitman when he's looking out at the sea. Ask Alan Shepard when he's standing up on the moon, staring at that pearl of blue. Ask an atom in the breath you take, ask the water by the riverbank. Ask a strand of DNA that's written in your blood. One life running in your veins, one life from one big bang. You can try and separate it, all the world is one. All the world is one. Go and ask the Buddha when he's sitting under the tree. Ask Annie Dillard when she's up on Tinker Feet. Ask Alan Shepard when he's standing up on the moon, staring at that pearl of blue. Take an outbound train, try to make a getaway. You can ride off like John Wayne to the setting sun. Earth things don't leave town, they just go round and round till they figure out all the world is one. All the world is one. All the world is one. All the world is
Good morning. I'm Nathan Brew. This is Aaliyah Williams and Orion Williams here to help me as your East Liberty Worship Associates for today. Before we begin, I want to recognize those who are involved with our service. Anita Phobes, our pianist, Rob Jakey and Mike Bernstein, our tech people, Steve Kish and Paul Jenkins, our ushers, and our social hour team, and our minister, Reverend Dan Miyake. We also welcome our friends at the UU Fellowship of Elkhart, Indiana, to our joint worship service together. Please note that all announcements will take place after the service in each congregation today. We welcome all those who come seeking a spiritual home among us. If you happen to be a first-time visitor, we would love to get to know you. If you are here in person at East Liberty, please be sure to pick up a welcome folder and stay for conversation after the service during our social hour. We also want to welcome our Zoom participants and encourage you to introduce yourself in the chat.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Laura Snow, and I'm a member of the board of trustees for this congregation, UUFE. Welcome to you all. The Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Elkhart is a welcoming community, encouraging religious freedom, nurturing individual spiritual and ethical growth, celebrating diversity, and promoting a just and sustainable world. If you would like to learn more about this fellowship, please look at our website at uufe.org and join us after the service for our coffee hour. And you can also enjoy tea too if you're not a coffee drinker. For the listening enjoyment of all, we ask you at this time to please turn off all your cell phones or put them to vibrate or mute so you have some choices. Also, if you need hearing support, please ask for help at our sound desk back there. Thank you.
In the spirit of fellowship, care, and connection, I encourage every member and friend to speak with at least one person that they do not know or know well before leaving here today. This is how we will continue to build the beloved community we seek. And to start those conversations off, please take a moment now to greet the people around you. And let's not forget our online friends. Let's all say hi to our friends on Zoom.
All right, thank you all, and I hope you can continue those conversation during our social hour time. But for now, let us rise in body or spirit for hymn 21, For the Beauty of the Earth, and the Elkhart congregation will be providing that music.
Would you stand if you're willing and able to sing? For
As we gather here surrounded by love and community, we light this chalice, a symbol of warmth, hope, and gratitude. Today we give thanks not only for the blessings we see, but for the unseen connections that weave us all together. Baruch Spinoza, a philosopher of wonder, taught us to see the divine in all things, in the way the sun touches the earth, in the shared laughter between friends, in the stillness of a moment where all things are part of the whole. Let us open our hearts to these blessings that surround us, recognizing the unity in all life and the opportunity to be present in this moment. In the spirit of gratitude, we welcome this time together with open hands and full hearts. May this light remind us of the beauty in every breath, the interconnectedness of all, and the endless ways we are invited to give thanks. Let this flame ignite our love for each other and our world. And now Aaliyah will help me light the chalice. Thank you, Aaliyah. And now our friends at Elkhart will share their unison covenant.
Would you share with me, as written in the order of service, our unison covenant? Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. To dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. This is our covenant.
On this Sunday before Thanksgiving, let's take a journey together, a journey into gratitude and wonder. And who better to guide us on this journey than Baruch Spinoza? Thank you, Gene. Gene inspired this service. Now, you might not have heard of Baruch Spinoza. He was a philosopher who lived hundreds of years ago in a time and a place very different than ours. But he spent his life thinking about some of the same questions that we think of today. Questions like, what does it mean to be connected? What does it mean to live well and truly in the world? What does it mean to feel deep gratitude? So let's see if our friend Baruch can help us answer some of these questions today. But before that, we will all rise in body or spirit for our next hymn, 203, All Creatures of the Earth and Sky, and we'll only do 3 verses. Today, as we gather to celebrate Thanksgiving, we're taking a moment to think about gratitude, but maybe in a way that's a little different. You know how I like different. So I want to share a story with you inspired by a person named Baruch Spinoza. Now, Spinoza lived a long time ago in a place called Amsterdam. He was a philosopher, which meant he spent a lot of time thinking and asking questions about life, the universe, and our place in it. Spinoza believed that everything, every tree, every river, every animal, and every one of us is part of something much bigger. He thought that everything in the universe is connected, like pieces of one great puzzle. So imagine, if you will, the whole world as being one big tapestry, a giant quilt made up of all things. We're all different colors and different shapes, but together we make up something very beautiful. Spinoza said that if we can learn to see ourselves as part of this big connected whole, we can feel a deep sense of peace and gratitude. And here's where his ideas tie into Thanksgiving, because I never tied Spinoza with Thanksgiving before. Thank you, Gene. But Spinoza believed that the more we understand the world around us and our connection to it, the more grateful we become. The more we understand the world around us and our connection to it, the more grateful we become. We begin to see how every little part, every person, every leaf, and every challenge fits together. So as we sit here together today, let's just take a deep breath. Can you feel the oxygen coming in? That air connects us to the trees, which gives us oxygen. The food we share connects us to the earth, which grows what we eat, and to the people who plant and harvest it. When we recognize these connections, we can see how we're all part of something bigger, just as Spinoza taught. Thanksgiving can be more than just a day to say thank you. It's a chance to see ourselves as threads in the same beautiful tapestry. And when we do, gratitude becomes not just something we say, but something we feel deep down, knowing we're all in this together. So as we give thanks this Thanksgiving, remember Spinoza's lesson. We are all connected. And for that connection, we are truly grateful. So now, please rise as you're willing and able once again as we sing hymn 402, From You I Receive. Before we sing it, though, I want to remind you of the hand movements that go along with it. We've done it a couple of times, so it's from you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and by this we live. All right? So let's all rise. And when you sing this song, I want you to make eye contact with at least one person and sing the song to them specifically. All right? But don't forget our Zoom folks. You can connect with them too. And we'll sing it 3 times. All right, we got it? All right, here we go. Don't forget the eye contact. From you I receive, to you I give, more. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and by this we live. Thank you. Now, normally, we would pause now at East Liberty for a time to share our joys and sorrows. However, this is a joint service, so we will share after our service in the social hour. But I do want to share with you a brief reflection by Naomi King. It's a Thanksgiving blessing. Let us join hands and hearts in gratitude on this wondrous day. Day where we have the abundance of our lives before us. We remember on this day of bounty all those who do not have enough, who are afraid, who are lonely, who suffer. We wish for the abundance of this world to be shared, for fear to become love, for the lonely to be welcomed, and for the suffering to know rest and joy. For the labor, the love, the care that gives us the delights of this and every day, we say thanks. For the nourishment of our spirit, the challenges that strengthen us, and the friends we have on the journey, we sing thanks. For all that is our lives, for those good gifts, we whisper thanks. Overflowing with gratitude, let us shout thanks. Amen. Now please remain seated for our next hymn, 128, For All That Is Our Life.
For all
Our offering will now be given and received in grateful appreciation of our communities of shared hopes and values. The UUCEL Social Justice Mission designee for this quarter is the Aware Shelter. Please give by using the donate button on our website or by contributing with a check with the Aware Shelter in the memo.
And now the Elkhart offering words.
This week's offering from UUFE will be shared with the Boys and Girls Clubs of Elkhart County. Let us give and receive generously.
Please enjoy this musical interlude while the offering is being collected.
I'm Steve Kripe of the WA this morning for UUFE, and I will be sharing a reading by Anonymous called Heaven and Hell. A holy man was having a conversation with God one day and said, "Lord, I would like to know what heaven and hell are like." In the middle of the room God led the man, to two doors. He opened one of the doors, and the holy man looked on. In the middle of the room was a large round table. In the middle of the table was a large pot of stew, which smelled delicious and made the holy man's mouth water. The people sitting around the table were thin and sickly. They appeared to be famished. They were holding spoons with very long handles that were strapped to their arms, and each found it possible to reach into the pot of stew and take a spoonful. But because the handle was longer than their arms, they could not even get the spoons back into their mouth. The holy man shuddered at the sight of their misery and suffering. God said, "You have seen hell." They went to the next room and opened the door. It was exactly the same as the first one. There was a large round table with a large pot of stew, which made the holy man's mouth water. The people were equipped with the same long-handled spoons, but here the people were well-nourished and plump, laughing and talking. The holy man said, "I don't understand." "It is simple," said God. "You have seen heaven. You see, these people have learned to feed and care for each other and do not think only of themselves."
The grateful heart in every moment. Today, as we approach Thanksgiving, we pause to think about gratitude. But let's go deeper. For many, Thanksgiving is a time to look back on the year and count our blessings. A cozy home, the warmth of family and friends, food on our tables, laughter shared. It's a beautiful tradition. But what if we could live in this sense of gratitude every day, not just once a year? The philosopher Baruch Spinoza, who lived hundreds of years ago, had an idea that can help us see Thanksgiving in a new way. Spinoza believed that everything is connected and that all of life is a part of something greater, which he called nature or God. He saw all things, plants, animals, people, rivers, mountains, as pieces of the same whole, woven together by an invisible thread. And because we are part of this great, wondrous web, Spinoza said that we can find joy even in small things if we learn to appreciate them deeply. Imagine for a moment that you're holding a single leaf. It may seem small, but think about the life it holds within it. The way it grew from a tiny seed, catching sunlight, rain, and fresh air to become what it is today. Spinoza would ask us to see the whole universe in that leaf. The soil that nurtured it, the rain that watered it, and even the stars that once exploded to create the particles that make it up. Thanksgiving, then, isn't just about listing what we're thankful for. It's about becoming aware of the beauty and connection in everything around us. Like Spinoza, we can open our hearts to the wonder of life in every moment. A leaf, a smile, the feeling of the air on our skin, each is part of something miraculous.
Thank you, Nathan. As we settle in for the sermon, let's take a moment to recognize that we are held together by more than just our thoughts, hopes, and hands. We're connected by something deeper, something ancient. It's a presence within and around us that many of us, including the philosopher Spinoza, have come to think of as divine. Star Wars fans might call it the Force. To represent this connection, I have a ball of twine here today. And while I'm speaking, I'm going to ask Aaliyah to help pass this ball of twine around. Darren might need to help her. And I want every person to get a piece of the twine and hold on to it or wrap it around your wrist so we kind of have a spider web thing going. And in Elkhart, if your kids can help pass that ball of twine around, and doesn't have to be person to person. It could be someone here, then someone down there, and then someone over here. And just kind of make a spider web. There we go. Yep, we'll get trapped in there. Oops, Aaliyah, you forgot me. I need a piece. Anyway, while Aaliyah is connecting us to our web, I will continue. Well, okay. I guess it has to be that way. And brother, don't forget him, he is a person. Okay. So what we're doing is we're making our interconnected web of existence of which we are all a part as a symbol of how we're all connected to something greater than ourselves. So Spinoza, as I said, was a thinker. And he spent his life asking questions about God and about nature and about how we are all connected. He believed that God was not something or someone outside the world looking in, but God was everything. The earth, the stars, the plants, the animals, each of us. We are part of a single divine essence. So imagine that. The idea that we are each a part of God, as are the trees, the rivers, the mountains, and even the air we breathe. So how does Spinoza's philosophy relate to Thanksgiving? Well, when we practice gratitude, we are recognizing the sacred interconnectedness. We acknowledge that we are not isolated individuals, but that we're part of a larger whole, woven into the fabric of life that sustains us. The meal we share, the air we breathe, the relationships we cherish, each is a manifestation of the divine that Spinoza spoke of. Thanksgiving becomes not just a moment to say thank you for material blessings, but a profound spiritual practice of recognizing the divine in everything. On this Thanksgiving, let's take a moment to think about what that means. If we are each a part of something divine, then every act of kindness, every moment of gratitude, every choice we make is an opportunity to honor the divine within ourselves and others. What touches one of us touches us all. Spinoza believed in what he called amor de intellectualis, or intellectual love of God. It's a love that isn't blind. It sees and celebrates the beauty of all things and accepts the imperfections too. So Thanksgiving is a perfect time to practice that kind of love, to look at the world around us and appreciate it, flaws and all. So let's think a moment about the food we're about to eat this week. Maybe we'll have turkey, veggies, maybe something warm and sweet and delicious. Each piece of food is a gift from the earth, from the hands that planted, tended, and harvested. In every bite, we can taste the sunlight, the rain, the soil, and that in itself is a miracle, a taste of the divine. Now, let's imagine we're all part of this giant invisible web that's now fairly visible. It stretches out, connecting every one of us. Not yet. Spinoza would say that this web is part of God, or what we might call the spirit of life. The more we care for one another and the earth, the stronger the web becomes. But when we forget to be kind, when we take too much or harm the earth, we weaken that web. Thanksgiving gives us a chance to remember this web and strengthen it with our gratitude, our compassion, and our actions. And perhaps that's the greatest way we can honor Thanksgiving, by recognizing that every person we meet, every animal, every part of nature is a part of the divine web that we all share. And so when we say thank you to the earth, to each other, to life around us, we're saying thank you to that spirit of life. Maybe for some of us, Thanksgiving feels complicated. Not all stories around Thanksgiving are easy to celebrate. Many Native people were hurt, lands taken, stories lost. It's important to remember that too, because our gratitude can be honest and acknowledge both joy and pain. We can be thankful, and we can also seek ways to help heal and repair what was broken. This is also part of honoring the divine within all of us. So when life seems more like a series of challenges than blessings, Spinoza's philosophy can also offer us wisdom, because he believed that everything that happens in the universe is part of a greater order. And while we may not always understand why we face certain difficulties, we can trust that we are part of an interconnected whole, and even our struggles contribute to the unfolding of life. Thanksgiving, then, is not just about giving thanks for the easy and the good. It's also about acknowledging the complexity of life and finding peace in the midst of hardship. When we practice gratitude, even in difficult times, we open ourselves to seeing the full tapestry of our lives. We begin to understand, as Spinoza did, that every moment, whether joyful or painful, is a thread in that tapestry of all that is. And we learn to give thanks for the wholeness of our experience. Spinoza's teachings encourage us to live with awareness of our place in the grand scheme of things, not just on Thanksgiving, but every day. Gratitude can become a spiritual practice, a way of engaging with the world that connects us more deeply to ourselves, to one another, and to the divine. When we give thanks, we are participating in the flow of life itself, honoring the sacred interconnectedness that Spinoza so eloquently described. And now that we have our web of connection, let us take a few deep breaths together. Feel that thread that connects us to each other and to the world, and virtually from one congregation to the other. With each breath, we're part of something beautiful, something sacred, something ancient and alive. So this Thanksgiving, may we open our hearts to the world around us, to the people we share our meals with, and to those we might never meet. May we hold all things, both good and difficult, with a gentle and thankful heart. And may we remember that every act of kindness, every act of gratitude brings us closer to honoring that divine essence in all things. May it be so. And now very carefully, let's try to gather up our twine, and maybe Aaliyah can help us with that too, so nobody trips. Things they don't teach you in seminary, Darren. All right. A big round of applause for our helpers. Yay. All right. Moving right along. Is Elkhart ready? We give them a minute. All right, I think we're good. So, each of you should have gotten a lovely muffin baked with love by Darren Palmer here, and by, forget who baked them in Elkhart. Please raise your hand if you were a baker. If you did not receive one, please raise your hand. Oh, good. All right. So, Thanksgiving calls us together to celebrate our bonds, our blessings, and the quiet beauty of the world around us. In this spirit, we'll share a simple, warm symbol of nourishment, a corn muffin, to remind us of life's abundance, the gifts of the earth, and the love we bring to one another. Again, Spinoza saw the divine not as something separate and above us, but woven into the very fabric of existence. He calls us to see everything as part of a greater whole, the God or nature. And as we look at this corn muffin, it might seem simple, but think of all that it has brought to us. The soil, the sun, the rain, the work of the farmers and bakers, the shared traditions of countless generations. Spinoza teaches us that in each of these small things is the presence of something sacred, a divine connection that unites us all. So let us give thanks for the corn that grew in the soil, for the sun and the rain that fed it, for the hands that harvested it, and for all who shaped it into this simple bread. And as we share these muffins, may they remind us of our shared gratitude, our shared abundance, and our shared purpose to bring kindness, understanding, and healing into the world. May we see the divine, as Spinoza taught, not only in what we receive, but in each other, in every act of giving and every gesture of love. And may we feel that same divine in the warmth of the muffin in our hands, in the faces around us, in the sacred unity of all life. Before we eat, let's just take a moment to close our eyes, hold our corn muffin in silence. Let's listen for that quiet connections within us, for gratitude and peace, for love and understanding. I encourage you to reflect on one person or one thing that you are thankful for today. And as you do so, let us eat our muffins. Now that you all have mouths full of corn muffin, we'll extinguish our chalice. Ready? All right. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth. As we go forth from this place, may we carry with us hearts that are both grateful and open. In the spirit of thanksgiving, let us remember, as Spinoza taught, that all things are connected, all things are one. May we see the divine in the simple and everyday moments, in the rustling of leaves, the warmth of bread, the light of each other's eyes. And let us give thanks for the blessings that surround us and for the gift of being part of this great unfolding universe. May we go out into the world with compassion and humility, knowing that each of us is a small yet precious part of a vast and sacred whole. And in gratitude, may we strive to live in harmony with each other, with all of life. Go in peace. Carry love with you, and let your gratitude be your guide. Now, it's the tradition of UUCEL to sing a closing song at the end of each service. We'd like to share it with our friends from Elkhart today. I believe the words should be in your order of service.
Go now in peace, your religion.
Thank you all for being here. We'll now end our video with Elkhart as we go downstairs for social hour and announcements and coffee, and as Elkhart enjoys their post-service activities as well. Thank you all. Elkhart Thank you for joining us. Everybody say bye. Hey, hey. All right.
Well, that went well, I think. That was good. Got a few announcements. Please set aside Saturday, December 14th for a holiday party. We will have it from 3 to 5 p.m., maybe 6. Games, cards, holiday music, and refreshments are planned. We will set up a TV with a holiday movie for the kids. Starting at 3 allows for daytime driving, and if your job has an evening party, you can still attend, you can be able to attend that as well. Let's have a relaxing time of community together. Planners include Pam Wycliffe, Dwight Fish, Oksana Werbiansky, Terry Marks, Sherry Moline, and Chuck Bauer. The mitten tree is now up in the next Ivy Island, so start bringing your mittens, scarves, caps, whatever you can to hang on that, and cover some of those poor branches that are broken in the bottom and don't exist anymore. So Snoopy and Charlie Brown would be proud of that tree. Emily, you had an announcement for me to share, to invite people for Thanksgiving. You don't have plans, right? To either come to you and Carol Lee's place, or what was that?
Yes, if you'd like to join us for Thanksgiving, talk to either Carol Lee or I at the coffee hour.
Okay, Carol Lee or Emily are inviting anybody that don't have plans to come to their place for Thanksgiving.
And I'm not sure where it would be. If there are a couple of people, it will be at one of our houses. If there are a few more, it will be here at the church.
Okay,
Just let us know.
okay, good. That's it, folks. Thank you.